Welcome to the sitting meditation. Choose a comfortable sitting position. Upright if you can, but if you really feel you want to lie down during your meditation, please carry on. So remembering that in meditation we're paying attention on purpose in a particular kind of way and trying to fall awake rather than fall asleep. We're endeavouring to adopt an attitude of open acceptance and to be as non-judgmental as possible. And to make this a special time just for you. So to start, I'm just going to ask you to notice your breathing. Breathing isn't something that we're ordinarily aware of, it's a function that we do. Unless something draws it to our attention when we're out of breath, etc. So I want you to explore your breathing and find the place where your breathing is most noticeable to you. And it could be that that's the cold air coming in your nostrils, the little hairs inside your nostrils moving really slightly with each in-breath and out-breath. Or it might be noticing that the air is warmer on the way out. It could be the rise and fall of your chest, or even the sensed feeling of your lungs expanding and then deflating. It could be the way your tummy moves. Or maybe something else. Find where it is for you, where you get the greatest sense, the most noticeable breathing experience for you. And then just anchor there. Solely noticing that. So we're not judging it, we're not criticizing it, we're not changing it. We're just noticing it. Now, it'd be very natural for your attention to wander away whilst you're doing this. You may find yourself being aware of something completely different. We're just going to acknowledge that. Notice it. Again, we're not going to judge ourselves or criticize ourselves or think that we can't do meditation. Actually, that is mindfulness. You noticed. So that's something to celebrate. You are doing it. So when you notice your mind wandering off, I want you to just give yourself a little smile. It can be a physical smile on your face, or it can just be a little internal thought of a smile. And then just gently guide it back to that anchor of your breath, where your breath feels most noticeable for you. Now I'm going to leave you concentrating on your breathing for just a minute or so. If you want longer, feel free to pause the recording. So now we're going to move on to what we call mindfulness of breath and of body. So I'm going to ask you to allow your attention to expand from that anchor of your breathing and expand your awareness out to take in your whole body. Think of this as an open, wide and spacious awareness of your body as a whole. It's a unified and strong presence, maybe. Think of it as a mountain strong and grounded and stable. And let yourself be aware, if you can, of breathing into your whole body. In effect, that your whole body is breathing, which of course it is. So sometimes it can help to give the air around you a colour. Maybe the colour that you associate with relaxation and calm or healing. Mine is always a gold, sparkly colour. And I see myself breathing in that fresh, beautiful gold, sparkly air, all the way into my lungs, all the way down to the tips of my toes, and then breathing it back out again. It may help for you to try that too. But just imagining, either way, that your whole body is involved in the breathing process. And you're really focused on that. Again, you may find that your awareness wanders away from your breath, from your breathing body. And if that happens, just mentally note where you went. Oh, I was thinking about dinner later. And without judgment or criticism, and a little smile because you noticed, just guide it back to your breathing body. If by this stage any part of you has started to feel slightly uncomfortable or tense, really breathe into that part. Breathing in, straight to that part that's slightly uncomfortable, and then out again. Maybe one breath for the uncomfortable place, and one breath for the whole body. Remembering we're not trying to change anything. We're just seeing everything as it is. I'll leave you again for another minute. If you want longer, feel free to pause the recording. Just still being mindful of your full breathing body. We're going to expand a little more, and this time we're going to include sounds. So still breathing with your whole body. Start noticing the sounds that are immediately around you, or even your own sounds. Maybe your tummy is rumbling. Maybe be aware of the sound of your own breathing. And then expanding out a little further to the sounds in the room around you. Eventually expanding your awareness even further to more distant sounds, perhaps outside the room. Maybe you can hear sounds from the room or outside of the room in which I'm sitting. If you can, listen in a passive, open way. You're not trying to hear anything. You're not trying to interpret or understand or label what you're listening to. You're just listening for tones, for pitch, for volume, rather than labeling bus, dog, traffic, clock. And don't worry, this can take a little bit of practice. Even more so at this stage, it's normal to find your mind wandering as you begin to build stories or thoughts around the sounds that you hear. And if you do, you know what to do. Smile, congratulate yourself because you noticed, and gently bring your attention back to your whole body breathing and sounds. Again, I'm going to leave you for a minute or so. If you want longer, you can pause the recording. I'm going to invite you to expand your awareness even wider now, from your breathing body and sounds, to include whatever thoughts and feelings come into your awareness. So instead of bringing your attention back from any thoughts and feelings like we've been doing up until now, we're just going to explore and observe them in the same way that you did with breathing, your breathing body and sounds. Once again, you'll be non-judgmental, no self-criticism, and trying to have an attitude of open acceptance of whatever is there. Now, in order that you don't, go into thought loops, you might like to think of your thoughts as birds flying through your awareness and disappearing into the distance, or clouds passing slowly overhead. Maybe your thoughts could be printed on helium-filled balloons, which you release. You watch them rising high into the air and eventually drifting far, far away. Sometimes we can get stranded or stuck in a particular thread of thought, and this can be quite normal. But if it bothers you, just seeing them high above you as a cloud or a balloon can help create that space between you and the thoughts. Start also noticing your emotions. And just welcome whatever's there, whatever comes into your conscious awareness, whether they feel welcome or not. If you can, just passively observe your reactions to your emotions. Really allow yourself to experience them and notice what you feel like doing in respect of them. If you can, just notice the emotions in a passive way, almost with the attitude that we are curious, as if being aware of them for the very first time. Does the emotion feel closed? Does it feel open? Perhaps the emotion has layers of depth, and we need to let ourselves float down through several layers to arrive at whatever the core feeling might be. Again, this does take some practice. And if you find that you've got caught up in an emotion or a thought loop, just smile to yourself because you noticed. And gently maybe come back to the breathing as an anchor, spreading out to body breathing, bringing in sounds, and then bringing in thoughts and feelings again. I'm going to leave you for a minute. If you want longer, just pause the recording. So now, for the final step, we're going to take our awareness even wider. So it's almost like not having a focus at all. Up till now, we've been focusing and really noticing certain things, but now I just want you to take your awareness really wide. Almost like you're sitting in a coffee shop and looking around you to see what you notice. What pictures, sounds, aromas, tastes are you aware of? What do you notice about the other people in there? When you look out the coffee shop window, what do you see? So it's just being aware of everything around you, everything you're thinking, everything you're hearing, everything you're feeling physically and emotionally, but not attaching to any of it. I'm noticing what bubbles up. Whether it's inside or outside, that's fine. We just try to be non-judgmental, curious, welcoming and friendly to whatever you notice. Again, I'm going to leave you for a minute to have this big awareness without focus. Just leaving you being a human being, not doing anything. If you want longer, feel free to pause the recording. Now just thinking how you might be able to continue this sense of awareness beyond what you're doing now and take it into the rest of your day. I just want you to congratulate yourself for taking the time, for giving yourself the time to be in being mode rather than doing mode. And I'll just notice the sounds around you. Notice your feet on the floor or whatever they're connecting with. Notice the feeling of whatever's supporting you, whether it's a chair, sofa, bed, floor. And then take your arms up into a big stretch. Wiggle your fingers and toes. And when you're ready, and only when you're ready, open your eyes.